Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 532, we are going to talk about Callaphe. However, she's beloved of the sea. 3 mana, we get a star 3 demigod. Power is equal to devotion to blue, so here again we have another chance to win with commander damage, because we can pump that number up pretty big. But also, because I feel like that was the working name of this set, Theros. But wait, there's more. Creatures and enchantments you control have spells your opponents cast that target this permanent cost 1 more to cast. So it does tax if your opponents try to target your stuff. So I felt like the option here was to go as hardcore devotion as I could in blue. And with that in mind, I didn't even use any artifacts. There's 0 artifacts in this blue deck. I did that because mainly it was something I hadn't done. It was a box to check, I guess. And it allowed me for a little bit of artifact hate cards in blue. Anyway, I guess we'll do this like, we'll start off with mana. I don't have a whole lot of, there's not a lot of really, well, there's a few, but the curve sits around 3. But we have Sea Scryer, which a lot of people don't know exist. It taps for a colorless mana. Mana Dork in blue, that's not bad. In a pinch, you can turn a colorless into a blue. We probably won't be doing that in this deck. We also have Apprentice Wizard. Now, after you cast it, 1 becomes 3. So that's ramp. And it's, 2 blue pips. So now we'll go into card draw. I think we have Opt, Theft of Dreams. Now, Coastal Piracy is a beautiful, beautiful card draw spell. 2 blue pips, and it kind of rotates around what we're going to be doing anyway, which is dealing damage, combat damage. Curiosity, kind of same thing. And let's talk about Psychic Possession for a little bit. Psychic Possession is a great card. If y'all listen to Dana Roach, you know he loves it. Now, this is not an auto slam down at 4 mana. I mean, there are games where somebody is clearly drawing more cards, and you generally see that coming. We really do. If an opponent throws down a Consecrated Sphinx, you bet I'm on a Psychic Possession. It skip your draw step, but whenever they draw, you draw. So that's cool. It can really, really be a valuable card drawing engine in and of itself. But let's look at how we're going to get devotion. So our creatures and our enchantments cost 1 more, so that kind of makes you want to play with creatures and enchantments, right? Well, what if we did both? What if, like, the steel creatures, like, control magic? First off, it's 2 blue pips, so it pumps up our commander. It removes a threat from our opponent. And it is, arguably, at most times, it's the best creature on the board. Right? So, control magic, mind control, confiscate, volition reigns, in Bolus's clutches, take possession. Corrupted Conscience gives it infect too. I mean, domestication, abduction, Legacy's Allure. Now, Legacy's Allure, 2 mana, and you've got to put it out there, and it builds up steam, obviously. Steel Enchantment. I love the simple name cards. Hey, what does that do? Well, let me tell you. But especially Steel Enchantment is going to be probably better now. People are playing with way more enchantments. Steel Artifact, good card. And Hypnotic Siren. Hypnotic Siren, of course, having the bestow. Now, it still only gets you the 1 pip. but still a great card. So we're stealing our opponent's things while adding blue pips, removing. But we've got other creatures in the deck, like Magus of the Unseen if we want to, borrow an artifact for a turn. Daring Apprentice. It's 2 pips while it's out there, and I don't know. There's a certain value in people knowing that you have the counterspell ready. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's also a value to them not knowing, but just knowing it's out there. Serengid Sorcerer kind of is a defensive card. And speaking of defensive, Wall of Frost. Walls. The colorless blue walls, heck, this one freezes. Now granted, the Wall of Air is 1 blue. It flies, though. The Thunder Wall is a shade wall. Check that out. A blue for +1/+1. And here again, we're just kind of buying time until we, win with our commander. Yeah, I know it's air elemental and it's not special, but had the foil and I was like, okay. There's probably better cards. Shore Crasher Elemental, 3 blue pips there. Jetting Glass Kite. Now, I did thought hard about all of the glass spinner type effects like that. Cryptoplasm just becomes a copy. Now, granted, once it becomes the copy, it'll have the copy's mana cost. So, and Seasinger. Oh crap. Okay. Yeah, Seasinger's a great card, but I screwed up. I didn't put a turn target land into an island card. Oh, well, it taps steal a creature if they control an island. I've got Stormy, so it ain't completely useless, but generally, if you've got Stormy, it's kind of over anyway. But we have got, as of now, we have got a large powered commander that only has a 3 toughness, which, there's a way big difference in 3 and 4. We all know that. But we need to, number one, make sure the commander gets in there and actually does some damage. So we're going to give it flying. We've got Shimmering Wings, Arcane Flight, Zephid's Embrace, giving it +2/+2. Actually, +4/+4 because there's 2 blue pips in it. And it has Shroud. Yeah, Flying, Shroud, +2. Sign me up. Anti-Magic Aura. Now, I know that a lot of this is super redundant, and you're going to draw the second copies of whatever Shroud, and it's not going to matter, but hey, that's the idea. We just want Robe of Mirrors. Diplomatic Immunity is kind of the sweetest version because it gives Shroud and it has Shroud, so that's nice. Protective Bubble. Enchanted creature is unblockable. Now, let's see what we got here. We have Dance of Many. Now, this is kind of neat. It is an enchantment on the board. 2 blue. It makes a token copy of something. So, now if the copy leaves, the dance leaves, copy leaves. But you can copy whatever you want to. You can copy something. We have Levitation. 2 blue pips, and it gives your team flying. Energy Flux. Now, this is the artifact hate I was telling you about. Wow, artifacts have an upkeep cost of 2. Now, I'm sorry. We are playing with 1 artifact, Crystal Chimes here, because all of our odds are, the energy flux is not going to hurt us that much because we're probably just going to cast this as a 6-mana sorcery, more than likely. We're going to try out this Nadir Kraken. Makes blockers, 2 blue pips. I'm about it. Drain power. I would like to borrow your mana this turn. It works a lot. It does. Monastery Siege. More than likely, both modes here are fine. Drawing and then discarding, or target a permanent, cost 2 more to cast. That's probably the route we're going, Parallel Thoughts. Now, there are many, many different ways to play this card. However, it is fragile. People will be running more enchantment hate now than ever before, and that's, that's a real thing. But what I personally do is comes into play, search your library for 7 cards. You put them essentially under Parallel Thoughts. If you would draw a card, you instead put one of those into your hand. I do 7 lands. I do 7 islands. It is a significant portion of deck thinning, helping you draw more gas, and if you need a land, it's there. And if somebody nukes it, all these cards are exiled anyway. So if your Parallel Thoughts gets disenchanted, you lose whatever's under it. So that way, it's it's little risk. It's also little reward. But let's see what we got. Baki's Curse is something I'm playing with. Weird sorcery from Homelands, but you know what? Now I think we're going to have more aura decks than ever before. As a matter of fact, I've got an aura deck coming next deck. Siona there. So, I don't know. Could work. Wrath of Merit Lage. Tap all the red things and they don't untap. I'm also running the Hibernation to bounce all the green things because, green's the best color. So, removal-wise, even I try to go permanent removal, like, enchantments that, Frogify, Encrust, Frozen Solid, Claustrophobia, Charm Sleep, Ashiok's Erasure. Now, Ashiok's Erasure is amazing. Yeah, so let's see here. What if we choose their commander? They're casting their commander. We're going to flash out the Erasure here. We're going to choose said commander's name. Let's see, enters the battlefield, exile target spell. So we're just going to exile it. Now they're going to put it back in the command zone more than likely. But from then on they can't cast spells with that name. So they've got to deal with this enchantment if they want to cast their commander. Yeah. I think the Eraser's pretty good. One with the Stars. Enchant creature or enchantment. Now that's necessary. Enchanted permanent is an enchantment and loses all other card types. Now, it has to say enchant creature or enchantment because if it just said enchant creature, it would become an enchantment and then fall off because it wouldn't say enchantment. Anyway, yeah, pretty neat. Then we've got a little bit of a counter package. I wanted to use the weird counters, like hesitation. Just stall. If it buys you 1 turn, that's fine. Sometimes it'll buy you a turn cycle. Every now and then, you'll run across the player that's just like, I won't be held hostage. We're just going to throw something, get it out of the way. Running Mana Leak, Negate, Flash Counter. Now, Flash Counter I love just simply because it's Flash Counter. Counter target instant. That's all it does. Yes, there are better versions at 1 mana, but I kind of like that old school Legends, which is why I'm running the Remove Soul as well. And Nyx. Nobody ever expects Nyx. Ever. I have never played a Nyx and somebody went, I saw that coming. They're like, what? It is such a specific counterspell. However, 1 mana, the super specific ones generally are, but for 1 mana, all of those free drops, man. There's so many ways. We have the entire catalog of Magic cards, 20-something thousand cards, and there's a lot of ways to sneak in things and get it free. Wow, yeah, I like it, and I love the response when it happens. I'll nix that. What? Non-basic lands, of course, got a cycle land, the Sappers and Cove, for storage counters, obviously. Soaring Sea Cliff, so we can put it into play to give that commander flying if it doesn't already have it. And you guessed it, the Rogue's Passage to get in there and deal that commander damage. So that is it for... Did we ever determine if it was Callaphe or Callaphe? Maybe Callaphe? I don't know. Someone who's better with words will have to tell me that. Get our tentacle tokens there since we got a new creature type. And that is it for this particular deck. Move my spit screen out of the way there. That is 532. Callaphe, beloved of the sea, on the wall. I do appreciate y'all watching. Hey, big thing since the last video. I cleaned off the table. Normally, see, I like doing that before set release, trying to get everything, because I pick up cards here and there quite a bit, and I try to get them all sorted, and that way I'm ready for the new set. Well, I didn't do that this time because I was too busy cranking out decks, So I've got a lot of older stuff that I still need to be put back in the set binders, but yeah, it is what it is, It ain't nothing but time, right? We got plenty. Anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.